Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hello, guys. How are you? Good, I hope. We're doing another Liam Brown video. Preemptive like, no rent, a tent, and a camera, backpacking Britain. I saw one of his videos. It was really good. And I saw the comments on that. You guys wanted me to check out another one. I will gladly do that. And I picked this one. So, let's get started, shall we? He makes... It's not only does, like, he, films his way across Britain or wherever he's going, which is enjoyable, but he has really good production too, like different shots and really good camera, and just he clearly knows. He's thinking about how to create a great video and what shots he needs to get to do it, instead of just filming his way. So it's doubly impressive. And they're really good videos. Let's go, guys. Did I say the original link top of the description to Liam Brown's video? Hit all the buttons, and let's get started.
No rent, a tent, and a camera. Backpacking Britain. This is my journey walking from John O'Groats in Scotland to Land's End in England. Solo.
He's doing the whole thing. What is that? Like a 1,000...
Scotland to Land's End in
wait,
England.
It's 1,000 miles.
Solo.
Okay, I thought it... Even better.
Yes, I had to run back for the phone every time I wanted to get a shot like that.
See,
this is the tent I'd be using. Here's a camera and a drone. Drone for aerial shots, and I converted and live in my van. That's a no rent part, by the way. The food. I usually eat pretty good at home, but with the energy I'd be burning in the next couple of months, I figured out anything and everything was on the menu. Chocolate bars, fish and chips, fizzy drinks, wild fruit, you name it. Oh, and beer. Lots of it.
Nice.
I set up camp wherever my backpack was placed at the end of that day. Mainly farmers' fields, forests and walking paths. But mainly farmers' fields. I'm sorry, farmers. I forgot to mention, I'm Liam, by the way. Grab some popcorn.
You guys mentioned the freedom to roam thing too in the comments of last video, which is really cool, and I love that idea. I still not totally...
Put your feet up.
So, like, even if it's your... just... Okay.
Just away. Grab some popcorn. Put your feet up. And just enjoy the journey.
I'm really fidgety right
Before
now.
I could even set off walking,
Can't stop
I had
moving.
to get a train from Crewe to Inverness, which was around 9 hours. And then I had a 2-hour stopover in Inverness. And then it was like 3 hours to Wick train station. And then from Wick, I had to get a 2-hour bus to John O'Groats. I finally made it to the famous John O'Groats signpost. Pretty knackered though. After a quick selfie with a signpost and 1,200 miles ahead of me, the only thing left to do was to start walking.
1,200?
The route I chose
I thought I was way over with my guess, but...
to take when planning
I'm
anything
pausing
left
way too much. Jesus Christ.
to do was to start walking.
I'm sitting on my hands.
The route I chose to take when planning the walk was to take the John O'Groats coastal path, which would take me around the coast all the way to Inverness, and that's around 100 miles. It wasn't long before I started to see the beautiful, rugged Scottish coast. After 3 miles of walking that evening, and bumping into an abandoned horse plough, which is weird, I decided to set up camp right on the edge of the cliffs.
This is crazy. There's nothing like this that I know of. Maybe if you go towards the western U.S., like the Pacific Northwest coast, you might see it. But this is very alien to me and super cool. The giant cliffs you have right on the sea. First camp of the journey then. So, yeah, that's it. Just a standard one-man tent. But wow, amazing. Super just wild camping in Scotland, as you do. Look at the ocean. Amazing. I feel so lucky.
The Highland midge is a species of small flying insect that swarms in their thousands and bites you whenever it gets the chance.
Are they like
this will become
horseflies?
the bane of my existence while in Scotland. For anybody wondering what I'm eating, so I bought 6 of these and just some snacks I brought, so about 3 or 4 days of food.
Do you guys have horseflies? I don't like killing any animals, okay? I don't like it, even if they're bugs. But horseflies can go to hell, okay? I don't care. Go to hell. Freaking...
Yeah, rather than bring my jet boil and gas, which is extra weight, I ditched it last minute. I took out my backpack, saved a kilo, and I'm going to cold soak stuff. So it won't be that nice, but it doesn't matter. I've saved weight. I set off the next morning feeling fresh and ready to get some miles under my legs. I come to find out though that the coastal path, it was overgrown and pretty damn impenetrable. So I decided to take the A9 road that goes from John O'Groats all the way to Inverness. I didn't know at the time, but I was in for a horrendous next few days of road walking. First bit of rain I've had, and all my waterproof gear is on, you can see there. But it wasn't too bad. It's pretty warm now, so I'm gonna have to take it off again. But this is Scotland for you. Back on, back off. It's gonna be like that the whole trip. I know where I'm staying today. I've been along this road for miles and miles without finding any spot suitable anyway. And I come across this abandoned building. This was open, so they must have got through that way. But I've set my tent up. Don't have to worry about the rain.
Remember redo of the
perfect. It's just,
bathroom
you know, the little
incident.
things in life make it perfect. I was struggling at the end of this. Like, I was so close to being like, oh no, I need to stop. And I came across this little gem. The next few days, the weather started to look a lot better, fueled by some of the best fish and chips I've ever had. Passed through some small towns and villages, slowly but surely making my way to Inverness. Small
Faltigubunilid.
towns and villages,
Faltigudornak.
slowly but surely making my way to Inverness.
Both spit.
I'm a bit bored, so I've been playing the game. Look how much change I can find on the floor on like the side of the road, and I found £1 so far. So that'll go towards a can of Coke. Another £1 coin. You know, one thing I miss about normal life, let's say, is blueberries. Without fail, I eat a couple handfuls of blueberries every day for the past few years. I love them, and I feel healthy eating them.
What are black currants? They look like blueberries, but
Yeah, I'm missing them. I really feel like some. But guess what? I've set my tent up in such a random place, and I think I found some wild blueberries. Have a look at this. So we're here. This is my tent. And I was just looking at my feet, the blisters. Right across here, I was like, no. Blueberries. I've searched them up on Google. They look like them. I've tasted one already. Oh my god. Fresh Scottish blueberries.
Okay,
I cannot believe it. They're all over the place. So in the morning, I'm going to be eating these. Feeling revitalised.
I know I would die within like 2 days because I'd think something's good and then it's not what I thought it was, and I'm
the
dead.
blueberries, I set off the next morning determined to get off the A9 road as quickly as possible. I was sick of it. The goal was to do 20 miles a day, and by this time there was a heat wave approaching the UK.
Oh my god!
After over 100 miles on the A9 road, I crossed the bridge to get into Inverness. This is where I could join on to the Great Glen Way. The Great Glen Way stretches for 118 kilometres from Inverness to Fort William and follows along Loch Ness as well as the Caledonian Canal. This is the part I was looking forward to. Slept right there under this massive tree last night. Good sleep, nice and cool. And we got that view over there. Goodbye Inverness.
Your guys' cities look so awesome because I say that in a lot of videos where I'm looking at like British towns or whatnot, but they all just look like they're all a part of they all look alike. All of the buildings have a similar style and color, and it just looks like it looks better, I gotta say. Just
Goodbye Inverness. contrast between road walking and trail walking was exactly what I needed. Peace, tranquility, and awesome views to take in. That right there then is the first glimpse of Loch Ness I've had, and we're just going to carry on along it apparently now, along the Great Glen Way, all the way to Fort William, and we started at Inverness, so it should take me around 5 or 6 days, hopefully, and if I put some work in, I could probably do it sooner. Every now and again I come across drinking water taps in the middle of nowhere. These were literally lifesavers for me.
It's crazy how the lakes in Scotland are like, it looks like a giant dragon just like scraped its claws and created these lakes. Like they're all very long lakes. Making me thirsty.
By this time I'd become, in air quotes, walking fit, and I was getting used to the weight on my back. Every night I'd roll my legs and feet with a can of mosquito spray I had. It's pretty makeshift, but it worked. So it's day 10. We're about 5 miles from a town called Fort Augustus, and that there is Loch Ness. I'm just carrying on right along it, and what a view it is.
It's got great production value. I wonder if he also uses his drone to like scout up ahead and see if there's like it changed directions or something.
After walking the length of Loch Ness, I jumped onto the Caledonian Canal towpath, and one evening a pretty magical thing happened to me. I just sat on this bench, shoes off, let my feet breathe. I think I'm going to set up here. I've been going for, I don't know, hours. It's like 7 o'clock. And there's a little way down, if you can see like there.
Beaver?
I'm going to go for a little dip in the Caledonian Canal, freshen up, and get straight to bed.
Deer.
What the hell? I'm just sitting here like this. The one thing I noticed about the Caledonian Canal was that it was so picturesque. It belonged on a postcard. The walking was easy, flat, just straight walking paths for miles and miles.
I want to run up
So we just met a lad, and we got speaking. He was like, we basically just asked each other where you're off, and I was like, oh, I'm Land's End, mate, nothing, you know, not too far. He was like, oh, I've just done that. Well, he's doing the opposite way to me currently, so he started at Land's End, and he's going to John O'Groats. So I was getting all the lowdown off him and like what it's like, and he's like, I got some, for me anyway, I've got some good tracks, pretty easy stuff coming up, and the bit I was not worried about, but a bit sceptical about is where to take, like what kind of route to take while I was in England. And he just said, go through like Cheshire way, which I'm going anyway, and head between like the path of Wales and England, between like the border bit, so
yeah, the border.
Happy days. But he started in May, and right now it's like the 20th of July, so he's got a good 2 weeks left, so around 2.5, 3 months I'm looking at. So yeah, I've got all like the lowdown from it. I feel so much better now. It's a beautiful day. Caledonian Canal. We'll keep going. So that there is Ben Nevis, from about 15 miles away right now, and you can still see it's July and the snow is still on the mountain. One morning I was rudely woken up from a nap by an RAF fighter jet. This is when I decided to jet off into Fort William.
I know the UK isn't very mountainous, so it was. I've climbed not Cadillac, Katahdin, which is like the end of one of the ends of the Appalachian Trail. It's definitely over 5,000 feet, but nothing like the west of the U.S. has way bigger mountains than over here, but still seems a little bigger than what you guys
Jet into Fort William. Grabbed a coffee, and ironically, there was a Caledonian sleeper train waiting outside as if to tempt me to go back home. The same train I used to get to the top of Scotland. I needed a shower. I didn't smell that good, so I booked a hotel room.
£7 this was. Oh, I feel so much better. I just had a shower.
£37
shower. Amazing. I'm living in luxury right now. But yeah, happy days, man. I feel really good.
The morning
Guys,
after, I sampled.
Let me know if you. I feel like happiness is based on expectation. Let me know what you think of that, okay? Because I've thought about it before. Because it doesn't mean that like you should lower your expectations for everything in life and you will be happier. That's not good advice, okay? But like, think of getting this hotel room. If you're expecting like this is not great, but if you're in his shoes and you've been outside so long, the joy you get from such a simple little thing, yeah, that it just, this is why I refuse to believe that happiness is based on quality of life or whatnot. I don't know. I haven't thought about this too much, but I thought about that. It's like that's I don't know.
Ensuite shower. Amazing. I'm living in luxury right now. But yeah, happy days, man. I feel really good.
The morning after, I sampled the local delicacy, haggis. Meh, 4 out of 10. I set off and toured Fort William for most of the day, but that evening, I set up camp at the base of Ben Nevis next to the river. Cooled off in the river, ate like a pig, and got some rest for the next phase of the walk. The West Highland Way is a 154-kilometre long walking route between Fort William and Milngavie near Glasgow. One word: hills. It was
Like see right there. I would love to kind of like go up the spine of this hill right here.
It was one of the hottest days of the year, and there were parts of the trail which were vast and pretty remote.
Right now then, I'm headed along the West Highland Way, all the way around. Just stop for a water break. Mountains to the left and the right of me. Oh, it's so hot. One of the hottest days of the year in Scotland so far.
Running low on the wet stuff, sunburnt and sick of walking, I came across my idea of an oasis during that moment.
Such a long day, so dehydrated. I can't even speak. I basically banked on everything. I've still got some water, but I really needed just a bathe. So luckily there was a little plunge pool over there, running water. Should be able to fill up from this as well with my water filter. Oh, happy days. I am so hot. Okay, let's go in there.
Feels so good.
For a lot of the West Highland Way, I was alone, but the good alone. I could be left to my own devices, experiencing the world and challenging myself. I didn't know why people were so scared to backpack Britain alone. I was loving it.
Oh, what's that? Oh, just a laptop and a charger. That's normal. Oh,
Nature.
It's like an obstacle course. Oh, my legs. It's too late for the day.
A wild laptop.
Oh, my legs. It's too late for the day. Let's do this. So I've just set my camp up next to the river. And I was just sitting down, just about to take my shoes off. And through the trees, hopefully you can see, right there.
A rabbit,
There's
antelope.
a stag, a big stag. Look at that. Right there. About 30 metres away.
At this point of the West Highland Way, this was the peak of the heat wave, 30 degrees in Scotland, which is unheard of. A cold beer at the end of the day, and sometimes in the morning, was absolutely necessary. It wasn't long before I started to reach the shores of Loch Lomond. 39 kilometres in length with overgrown walking tracks, a knock-on effect of the pandemic.
It's like being in a jungle.
I think it just goes to show how fast nature reclaims its land back from humans. In 100 years, our towns and cities, there'll be nothing left of them.
I'm not
100 year, I hope not. I remember when I was a kid, because I remember I love the Jurassic Park movies, and I just always saw these types of leaves, like ferns, in Jurassic Park, and I thought they were like extinct species, and then I'd go in the woods and I'd see them, and I'd be like, I discovered ancient
jungle.
Sorry.
I think it just goes to show how fast nature reclaims its land back from humans. In 100 years, our towns and cities, there'll be nothing left of them.
And so whenever I see those fern leaves, I think dinosaurs.
Too far from Glasgow now, and that is the only hill/mountain I can see. There's a few in the distance, but they're really small, and I'm so happy to see the back of them.
I made it to Milngavie, the end point of the West Highland Way for me. I decided to book a hotel and head into Glasgow.
This is what a £25 hotel gets you in the middle of Glasgow. That's loud, but well, it doesn't matter. So I've got bathroom, pretty clean, pretty modern shower. That's good. I need to turn off. That's too loud. Like a little lawn. Is it closet? Yeah. Got a TV.
All you need.
Just a bed. Simple, but I've got sockets to charge from. I've got a kettle to make coffee and tea. Let's go. Yeah, everything's there. I'm just going to sort all my stuff out, charge the stuff, and just let my feet rest.
So the past 3 days I've been without a phone. I'm about 15 miles away from Gretna, which is on the border with Scotland and England. I was listening to music and my earphones got tangled in like the chest part of my backpack. Dropped on the floor. The screen wasn't cracked, but the touch screen stopped working, so I was screwed. And yeah, it's just pretty bad. So I didn't have my maps for 3 days, so I just followed the cycle path from, I think it's cycle path 74 all the way down to Carlisle. Got into Carlisle last night, stayed in the hotel, and this morning went to a phone shop, fixed my screen and touch screen so it works, so we can record. But yeah, I'm about 15, 20 miles away, like east of Carlisle now. I'm heading, I don't know what town it's called, but I'm gonna go on to the Pennine Way, all the way down to the Peak District. That's the plan, so yeah, should be good,
As someone said, it's Peak District, you muppet. Screw you. I thought he said Pete, like Pete Moss. Whatever. It
Good
sounded
for the past
like
few
it.
days, it's just been following crappy roads, listening to lots of traffic. Bored out my mind.
We've got like the river there. It looks a bit murky, so I'm not gonna go for a swim.
Under a bridge.
So, yeah, you got above, you can hear. Big pillars, protected from the wind right here. Not too shabby, let my socks dry off. Just had something to eat, gonna brush my teeth and get an early night, but not a bad location. But we're in England and wild camping's illegal, so I've got to keep down and just keep quiet.
Wait. Oh, right. Oh. Just because. Never mind. I was going to say, what about the rite of passage? But that doesn't mean you can camp anywhere. Never mind.
So I've got to keep down and just keep quiet.
Oh, hiccups.
After some more road walking, I'm meeting a great lady called Sue.
So let's go check it out if you're ever passing. Yeah. And that's Sue.
I was in Yorkshire.
Yeah? See, this is what I mean. It all just
Pretty
looks
happy now.
together.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, I've left all the main roads, all the noise behind, and I'm heading towards the Pennine Way. I'm about 9-10 miles away from the Pennine Way. So I'm going to jump on at a town called, well, it's like a little village or something. It's called Keld, K-E-L-D. Jump on there and just go all the way down. Just have a look. Got a mate with me right there.
It was almost like the second I set foot onto the Pennine Way, it started to pour down with rain. For a week.
I would be just, if not more excited to see the sheep than he is to see like the wild deer. And
Great, I was drenched.
I want to go like hug it.
So the Pennine Way, it
then
started
it
to
kicks
pour
me in the
down with
face.
rain. For a week straight, I was drenched.
This is like the first proper downpour we've had. All through Scotland, it's literally light drizzle. That's all I had, luckily. And now I'm in England, it's like, I don't know if you can see, you can probably hear it, but yeah, I'm just getting shelter under the tree.
That's like what it is outside right now. We have similar
But-
weather.
Welcome to England, I suppose.
My waterproofs became so saturated that it wasn't even worth wearing them anymore. My socks and shoes, soaking. My feet started to suffer from being wet for 12 hours a day too. It was vital I had my feet out while I was in the tent, or I would get something called immersion foot, which isn't good. I used baby powder, do you know, the white chalky stuff? It dried my feet out and helped them heal. I did this twice
Good
a
for the
day,
grundle.
and it was a lifesaver for the walk. When I said it rained for a week straight, I mean it didn't stop. Ever. It rained
Yorkshire Moors.
and rained and poured.
That bit right there, that bog, was the hardest bit of the walk so far. Could have stayed with me. I just went in, like the bog went up to there, my knee. There's a dead sheep carcass right over there. Yeah, so your sheep probably drowned in it, and I went through it, just being an idiot I am. I got absolutely drenched. So good though.
Despite all of the bad weather, I was enjoying the challenge. This is exactly why I was doing it.
So I've just been thinking up this hill. You know, like how can anyone moan at the life we live nowadays? It's so easy. Fresh running water, a nice hot shower. Fresh, clean, nice smelling clothes to put on every day. Staying dry, warm. Electricity, internet. Oh my God.
Don't torture
I can
yourself.
go on. And I'm here smelling of crap. Quite literally. Going up a hill, soaking wet, feet are just soaked. Yeah. This is why I'm doing it. This is exactly why I'm doing it. Just to appreciate the niceties of life. I'm just drenched. It's been like rain all day. We're lucky, honestly. You cannot moan. Decent view, but so foggy and raining. But yeah, I've just had one of them moments. This is exactly why I'm doing it. And I'm loving it. I'm not
Such
really.
a good attitude.
Feet are killing, but it's all good. Not far to go. Just entered my home.
Random, but don't trains have a way to derail themselves? Like if they're like on a collision course with another train, like because it's obviously not great to derail, but better than head-on collision. Does anyone know that? I think that's the thing.
County
Sorry,
Cheshire.
off topic. Not really.
Just entered my home county, Cheshire. Let's go. I'm like 33 miles away from my parents' house where I grew up. Let me just quickly show you where I camped tonight.
So near the Welsh border.
Oh, what a place.
Ooh, I'm super interested to see as he goes along the England-Wales border. Is it going to be super mountainy?
What a view. It's cold, but
Another sheep. Hey, bud. Are there sheeps just everywhere in England and Scotland, just roaming around?
So it's pretty early in the morning now, and I'm literally one walking day away from my parents, where I'm doing a pit stop for a couple of days, so I can go back, rest my legs, and just chill out for a bit before I set off again for Land's End. But yeah, it's probably the earliest I've set off. Sun's just rising, and I feel good. I feel really good. Can't wait just to not do anything. Had a few days rest, I feel good. But I kept putting it off, you know, I kept throughout the day. It's like 4 o'clock right now.
I kept saying to myself, 10 minutes we'll leave. And I kept putting it back, 10 minutes, just, yeah. It's the hardest bit. I really think that's the hardest bit of anything. It's just starting it, getting started. Once you're out doing it, it's easy.
Yeah, it's almost like you're torturing yourself by giving yourself the relief, and then, you know what I mean. Like, if it's really cold outside, sometimes you get what.
It's just initially getting started, it's the hardest bit, but we're on our way. Going to Oswestry, and I can get on I think the trail is called Offers Dyke, and just, yeah, along the Welsh and English border. So I've broken it down into 4 stages, just to kind of like, for my mind, really. I think we're coming up to Offers Dyke Path. Is this it? Hopefully. I don't know. It said on the map, it should be. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just get straight on it now.
So Offers Dyke is a 285 kilometre long distance.
Sorry, I'll wash my hands.
There we go. Just get straight on it now.
So Offers Dyke is a 285 kilometre long distance footpath that runs between the English and Welsh border.
In the middle.
I never did any research about the route.
Down there.
Whenever I think of Wales, I think of hills, grey skies and rain. Ugh, I wish I could tell you different, but that's exactly what I got.
That's hay, right?
Just finished walking for the day. Set up in a forest. The pathway's like that way up that hill. So that's good. Got a fire going for the first time since, yeah, I haven't done one on a walk. I'm just drying all my socks. They're soaking wet today. It's been raining, but these are drying quickly. Just walk through.
That's gotta feel so good. If your feet are soaked and you start a fire, you take them off and put your feet next.
A massive orchard full of fresh kind of like green red apples, damsons. I think there were cherries. So I've got, you can see, 2 apples, and then that there, you can see is a damson. I've never tried a damson. I just googled it. You can eat them, but apparently they're really tart.
What are dates? Like a fig newt fruit?
And the best cooked damson. I just googled it. You can eat them, but apparently they're really tart. And the best cooked and added,
Raisins.
you know, with sugar and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try it. I've never tried one. But that, I'm not an apple guy, to be honest, but that was probably the best, sweetest, most flavourful apple I've ever had. Just entering a little village, like a really small village in the middle of nowhere called Longtown. There we go. But over there, you don't understand. Hopefully I can zoom in. It says village shop.
Sheep. Jeez.
Shout out to Longtown.
I always feel it's the little things that keep you going. And it was finding fresh fruit.
Sorry, I love these narrow British roads with the big hedges on either side. There are a lot in France too. We noticed driving through. So I guess it's more of a European thing than just a British thing. But I don't know. It's kind of magical. It makes me think of Narnia or something. Like Mr. Tumnus is gonna come out of the hedge.
I always feel it's the little things that keep you going. And it was finding fresh fruit, seeing a little shop in the middle of nowhere. These things lifted my mood and spurred me on to keep going throughout the whole walk. I'm a simple man, I know. Whilst walking along Offers Dyke, I stumbled upon a sick sheep.
Is it dead?
If you're squeamish, I advise you to look away right now.
No, what is it?
Oh, there's a little sheep, or I don't know if it's a lamb. It's alive, but barely moving. Oh, I don't know.
Nature is brutal.
What to do. Alright, I'm gonna try feed it or something.
Ah.
Go on, mate. Do you want some? Oh, the poor thing is proper. I think it's like a really bad infection. Alright, I've got some like Savlon. It's not gonna do anything, antiseptic cream, but it reminds me of my dog. That's why I can't leave it.
I left the sheep and started to take quite far roads towards Bristol.
Last night then I stayed in there's a bed and breakfast.
That was okay. Nature is brutal.
last night then I stayed in it was a bed and breakfast. And usually I've just been staying in cheap hotels, you know, just as long as I have a bed and a shower. But it was the cheapest place in the area. It was like £55 or something. So I was like, all right, I'll get one, because I needed to charge my batteries anyway for my, you know, to charge my phone up and stuff. And I needed a shower and whatever. So I was in there, but it was so posh. The owners of it, there was a man and a woman, they were really nice, but I felt so out of place. You're like waiting on your hand and foot with the cutlery laid out, you know, like posh, very posh. Bringing like afternoon tea out with 3 different spoons, like a pot of tea, all that kind of stuff. And I just felt it was so awkward. I am not that type of person. I'm the type of person to eat a takeaway with a spoon and just 1 spoon only. I don't think I'll be ever staying in a bed and breakfast again. They were nice enough and it was a nice place, but I just felt out of place. But it was in a town called Kington, I think. It's close to Hereford. Right now I'm about 6 miles away.
That's how you say it? I call it Herefordshire. Hereford. Herefordshire. Hereford.
From Hay-on. It's close to Hereford. Right now I'm about 6 miles away from Hay-on-Wye. So yeah, I'm like 40 miles away from Bristol, which is really close.
He's gonna go through the Cotswolds. Right? Isn't that in between where he is and
from Bristol, which is really close. The weather's just really nice now. I'll show you. Doesn't look too nice, but for the past 2.5, 3 weeks, it has been pouring down every day without fail. Oh, you can see the blue sky there. But yeah, I just thought I'd sit down, have a chat with you. I'm feeling good. My feet have been in a bit of a crap state the past few days just because they've been constantly wet. And my socks, when I've been drying them, they go like really hard and they rub on your feet, and it's, yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Should be good if it dries out.
What does that even mean? The world's first book town? Makes no sense. Hay-on-Wye.
For the first time in the walk, the monotony was eating away at me. So I'm definitely
kind of scared.
2/3 of the walk done, 1/3 left. I want to say 200 miles, maybe 250. It's not that much when I put it all into perspective, but the hardest thing now is mentally just keeping going. I can deal with all the aches and pains and blisters and whatever. Just boredom, that's what's getting me now. I've listened to so many podcasts and music and watched videos, and I just cannot watch it anymore. I'm so bored. Like, it's just, the brain has just gone to mush.
He had a similar kind of feeling, experience, emotions at around this percentage of the trip of the other video I watched. Did that make sense? Where he was like in the Yorkshire moors, and he had the same sort of thing. And it's interesting. Don't you think it's interesting? I should phrase it that way, that depending on how far your journey is, like if your journey is 120 miles, sometimes you get tired around like 100 miles. Whereas if it was like 1,000 miles, it seems like if your mind is on that, like you're going way farther, then like you postpone that feeling. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Probably not.
And especially when being on your own, you're always in your thoughts, and you get sick of yourself. It's difficult. So it's just that now, keeping going. And I try to break it up each hour just to take my pack off, 5 minutes, sit down, and just have a rest. But yeah, I'm constantly in like a state of just after you've woken up, if you know what that feels like, which everyone does.
Groggy.
Like hazy kind of mind, and you're just in like a brain fog. It's constantly like that all day now. Just boredom. My brain, I can barely remember things. It's like I'm getting dementia. I know it's not funny, but it's kind of like that. So yeah, it's one of these things you don't really think about.
just the boredom. But it's that's the biggest thing now. Whoop. Bristol, going over the bridge right now.
Hey, it's kind of like the happiness expectations thing. Oh my God, maybe I'm right. It's like if you expect to go 1,000 miles, 100 miles isn't as bad. But if you expect to go 100 miles, then you get tired at like 90. That makes sense? Or just let me know if I'm onto something here, okay? I'm not saying you should live your life by low expectations. It's not great. But I'm just saying...
I know. That's the biggest thing now.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Bristol, going over the bridge right now.
Cotswolds. Drum roll.
Oh, you can feel it shaking. Oh, that's not nice. Look at that. Pretty windy. Just come across that. I've come just there's so many of them kind of tracks that aren't actually there, where like farmers just forget to put them where they're supposed to be. And because I have like the OS maps online, I have access to every one of them, and it's like this. It's just a dense jungle, nettles everywhere. I'm just going through them, getting stung to death. Got stung by a bee, or a wasp. I haven't been stung for like since I was a little kid, and it killed. Luckily it hasn't swelled up, but there where it's red is a killer. But yeah, right now just crossed the Severn Bridge a couple hours ago. Sorry about the camera work, it's a bit shaky.
You're good, brother.
This bridge is like half falling in. Gonna fall in. But yeah, I don't know what road that is. The M4, is it? Just basically parallel to that. There's the Severn Bridge. Come across that before. And wow, it is hot. So we've been following this path through a farmer's field, and we're next to it's a busy motorway kind of thingy near Bristol. But look, this should be a pathway, and it's massively overgrown. No one uses it anymore. So I'm just looking for a place to stay. It's actually quite good. This is a little road. There's a stile, and that's like a busy road right there. There's a bridge. It's pretty busy right now. Loud, but in a few hours the noise will die down. But at the bottom, let me just show you, it's like a jungle. You can just tell no one uses this. But at the bottom right there, a little bit of a wood, and it's flat, so I'm gonna set up camp. Pretty good find actually, happy with that.
I got to Bristol, topped up on supplies, and set off for the final leg of the journey towards Land's End.
I feel like this would be the most beautiful part of the journey. I'm curious if he says at the end, I would love to hear what his, especially on such a, like more so than what I wanted to hear about the first video I saw of across a much shorter trip, because it's so far along, it's the entirety of the island. And so I really want to know, like, what was his favorite part? What was his least favorite?
I was in the groove of things, and the end was in sight. I started to enjoy it and take everything in, whereas at the beginning it was a mission to finish as quick as possible.
Take a look at this. There's a little deer right there. See it? You just can't see it. Hello.
See, we have deer. Like deer, I'm sure it's a different species, obviously, but all over the place here. And so I'd be like, oh yeah, deer. A sheep. Look at the sheep.
Just found the Thomas the Tank Engine football.
I created games for myself. It usually made the day go quicker.
So for the past day and a half, I want to say 2 days, I haven't really recorded anything. Just been walking and yeah, just getting in a groove of it. But I passed Taunton yesterday. It was just past a little town called Tiverton. Went through it.
Ah, that's like right there. New England, I'm ashamed. No original. Yeah, you guys say it's New England, and that's a good point, but I don't care. Every town name is stolen.
Chilled out in there for about an hour. It was 2 hours. And setting off down just some country lanes. Has anybody ever heard a fox bark? No, me neither.
I can't believe it. There's a fox. It keeps like barking.
I
I've had to like scare it away just by like shouting and making noise. See? It's like stalking me. Oh, God's sake.
It sounds adorable, though.
So annoying.
I was finally into Devon and I decided to stop at a campsite. The best part about it though is that they sold fresh cow's milk in 1 litre bottles. I was in heaven. So I've walked about
Unpasteurized?
25 miles today, just over. And yesterday it was 23 or something, so I've done in 2 days about 48 miles, which is probably the most combined in 2 days of the whole of this walk. I feel okay though.
On a really steep downhill, and then it's like on the map there's like 3 arrows, meaning downhill, uphill, and there's like 3 uphills after this downhill. I'm not looking forward to this. It's really steep. Look at that.
I just had to go through a hedgerow to get to the track I'm walking on. And I just thought to myself, I'm so glad I'm not in Scotland right now, because I would have had like 15, 20 ticks crawling over me, biting me, midges attacking me, just insects.
Midges. That was the thing. What that sounds like a dirty word. Minge?
Crawling over me, biting me, midges attacking me,
Midges.
just insects trying to bite you. Whereas in England, we're really lucky. It was really benign and it's nice. In Cornwall, I found another fresh milk farm. This one had a dispenser, which was great.
Cornish milk from a dispenser. This is like a farm. Oh wow. So you just dispense your milk, fresh milk. £1.20, 1 litre of fresh milk, that's me.
Ever since I learned about American eggs, I'm just upset. Nothing is fresh. And then you guys...
Amazing.
Now I want milk. I want English milk. I want that milk. Not frickin'... Hello, fodder.
So the past few days I've been taking the main roads basically to Land's End just to cut the journey. Not short but quick, just to make it quicker. And I'm finally
Go along the beach, sorry.
here. Not short but quick, just to make it quicker. And I'm finally here. I'm about 1.5 miles away from the Land's End signpost. I'm on the southwest coastal path, but take a look at this sunset.
The iPhone doesn't do it justice, but that's probably the best sunset I've ever seen. It's come full circle. At the start,
I love walking on the beach, even for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because like you can see farther ahead. That would be so cool. Going along like how far could you go along the coastline all the way? That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That's
come
awesome.
full circle. At the start, when I was at John O'Groats, I camped on a cliff the first night.
It's catchy.
Right now, right at the end. What an ending. And right over there is Land's End. So the signpost is
It's 40 minutes.
like there, I think. I set my tent up for the last time and had my last camping meal of the trip.
Pasta ai funghi. I've had 6 of these in a row and I'm sick of them, but I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to try and enjoy it. Look at that through the netting. Oh, wow. This is my view. I'm very lucky right now. Land's End right there. Speechless.
That's awesome. It's perfectly in the center, his destination.
Alright. Just woke up. It's, I don't know, it's like 5 to 6 in the morning. I'm gonna get ready and then go see that sign. Just packing my stuff away and I feel a little bit sad. This little tent, this sleeping pad, all my stuff in there, it's got me through almost 2 months of backpacking Britain. Madness. Let's go, hold on.
That was wholesome.
I can't believe we made it. What the fuck?
And there is the sign. Oh my god. Land's End Hotel. Mad. There's even a bench there so I can sit down afterwards.
He's got to do the Appalachian Trail.
I did it.
Has he done any
We did.
American videos? That would be really cool.
I did it. We did it. The camera. I would have loved to fly my drone, but they didn't. Because there's an airport nearby, you can't actually fly a drone near here. Oh well. That's the least of my worries right now. I
New
can go
York.
home, I can get the train and just... Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, I better start planning the next adventure. I don't know what. I don't know what's going to top backpacking Britain, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Backpacking US.
Well, that was worth it.
He seemed to, at the end of this one, like, it seems like he could have gone, like, it seems like he could have walked back. I'm not saying that, but, yeah, he definitely didn't seem defeated at all, and, I'm sure that that stop at his parents' house was a big boost to his mental thing. Days taken to complete 49, distance walk around 1,100 to 1,200 miles, 16 to 18 kilograms, backpack, what is that? It's like 40 pounds, something like that. Fish and chips consumed, too many. That was really enjoyable. I loved that a lot. I'd appreciate, guys, any comments. I wish you would, like, I'm curious, like, what his favorite part of the trip was, or least favorite. Yeah. Hope you guys are doing well. Would appreciate any comments if you're from any of these places, or have done what he did, or anything at all. And I hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you next video. Bye, guys.